Customs Glitter channel, and today I'm going to show you how to make these little details on the mold really stand out. So with this mold in particular, see how fine these details are on here? So I've already got this demolded. This was just some extra epoxy, a couple of different colors thrown together. I've got oxygen in there, I've got halo in there, and I've got some pure ice in there. So especially with that chunky, it is so hard to see this detail just with the glitter. So I'm gonna set my mold off to the side here. And I've got just some basic acrylic paint, nothing fancy, at your local craft store for like less than $1, and a little paintbrush. And we're just going to paint this on. Now, just go for it. I'm telling you, it's going to look crazy at first. Trust me. I promise you I'm not going to steer y'all wrong. Make sure that you're really getting into those little details. That's the part that you want to make sure is covered. We're going to wipe everything else off with some alcohol. Got a little random piece of green glitter there. That looks like jade. Not sure what I used jade on recently. And just keep working this around. Make sure you're really well coated in all the details. We're just doing this all one color. But if you have some of the coasters or some of the other keychain molds that would really benefit from a multicolor design on there, get more colors. Use your paintbrush and kind of blend it in a little bit. It doesn't have to be perfect when they meet up. These lines are pretty small, so you don't have to be like an excellent painter to make it come out really pretty. Just kind of move it around and make sure I'm worked into all those spots really, really well. Okay, so now you can use an alcohol pad. I really like to use a little coffee filter. They have less fibers. So I'm going to use a coffee filter. I'm going to kind of make it a little smaller here. And I'm just going to spray some alcohol on this. I was using the alcohol pads, and again, it was just those fibers would sometimes come off. And these coffee filters are, you can find these really cheap. And wipe it off. It's not going to look perfect at first, and that is okay. We are just trying to get the main rest of like where we don't want it, trying to get most of that off. See how well we're already standing out? And you can use any color on this. And since the acrylic paints are opaque, it goes well over darker glitters as well. So if this was black and I wanted to do white on top, the white acrylic paint would be opaque enough and it would work great. So this should be a good tip for all of you guys. And we're gonna let this dry probably only about a half an hour or so. Probably really shouldn't take too long to dry. And then we're gonna come back in and clean it up one more time. Once it's dry, it gives it, and we go over it, it's a little bit easier to kind of take all the extra off without pulling some of the paint from your detail out. So don't focus too much right now to get this perfect. See, I got a little bit here, but if I keep wiping it, then I'm gonna start kind of wiping some of the paint from those details, and it's gonna get, you know, a little bit less detailed in there. So actually I see a little spot right here I want to go back into and check it right now. Like if there's any spots that look not so perfect, take your paintbrush, go back in, and let it dry. So let it dry about 20-30 minutes. We'll come back and we'll clean it up and we'll be good to go. Okay, so my paint is fully dry now, and we're gonna do one more quick wipe off. So I've got my coffee filter with a little bit of alcohol on top. And I'm just gonna clean the rest of it up. So if any areas looked a little cloudy, this should kind of help clear that up. The cloudiness is really just a little bit of that paint. And once it's dry, again, we're not removing any of the paint from the details, so it gets a little bit cleaner on this round. See how well you can see those details now? They really stand out. So that is my little tip for you guys on how to color those little fine details. So I am going to go ahead and add a layer of epoxy over this. I've got my epoxy mixed up already, and I'm using Fast Set for this. This is just going to speed it up a little bit faster. And it's a really thin layer, so we shouldn't have too many issues on bubbles. And I like to seal it because especially if this is on like someone's keychain, that acrylic paint can get damaged a lot quicker. So you just want to add some durability to your product. It's going to make it that more valuable. And when people buy pretty things, like, you know, you want to hang on to it. You don't want it messed up after a couple of months banging around on your keychain. And I just go right up to the edge on these. And this works for all the different little keychains that have all these little fine details in them. All the little coasters. Take your lighter, remove your bubbles. Missed a little spot right there. All right, bubbles gone. Let this cure, add your little jump ring and keychain, and you are good to go. See how easy that was? Super simple, super easy, and a beautiful end product. So thank y'all for watching. I hope this helped, and I'll see y'all next time.